Ladies and gentlemen, California Governor Gavin Newsom has just found himself in some hot water yet again, but this time it actually seems as if his entire political career is set to go up in flames. Now, as I'm sure you all know, under Gavin Newsom's radically progressive leadership, California has pretty much turned into a lawless, anti-American hellhole. And when I say that, I'm 100% serious, because as much as I regret to report this, just the other day, Governor Gavin Newsom's insane policies have ended up costing 3 innocent Americans their lives. And the worst part about it is, the entire situation was completely preventable. You see, just the other day, an illegal alien truck driver decided that it would be a smart idea to try to pull a U-turn right in the middle of the freeway, and the consequences were tragic. And so folks, on that note, take a look at what happened, then we're going to have a lot to talk about. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's actually talk about what caused this entire situation. Much to absolutely no one's surprise, the individual driving this truck is actually an illegal alien who crossed the US-Mexico border, then lived in the sanctuary state of California, because we all know they absolutely love their illegal aliens. Then, it was in the sanctuary state of California that this illegal alien was actually able to get a CDL, a commercial driver's license, despite not only being in the country illegally, but also not even being able to properly speak English. Now, something very important worth noting here, this illegal alien truck driver actually caused this deadly accident all the way across the country in the great state of Florida. So before you go saying, "Oh, who cares what they do in California? That's not my problem." Well, keep this in mind. Here's the unfortunate truth. When sanctuary states like California are causing problems like this, the ramifications ripple out across the entire nation, even 3,000 miles away on the other side of the country. And so this is why it's such a big deal that the Trump administration is actually cracking down on all of this, mandating that every single truck driver in the nation needs to actually be able to speak English in order to get their commercial driver's license. In fact, take a look at what Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy had to say about that just the other day. Let it play.
How important is it for truck drivers to speak English in this country?
Listen, it's wildly important because this has been on the American books for decades. Because if you're pulled over, or if you have a crash and you can't communicate with law enforcement or with first responders, it's a truly safety issue. Barack Obama, what he did is he took the teeth out of this rule of English only. We brought those teeth back to the pre-Obama era to go, we're going to put you out of service. We've taken 1,500 trucks out of service off the roads because the drivers couldn't speak English. And I think that's what the American people expect from us. English is the language of the United States of America. Right. And if you're going to get in a mobile missile, you should speak our language.
And so, folks, yeah, I think we can all agree that that is a pretty good requirement. As Transportation Secretary Duffy said, if you're going to be driving a 30,000-pound semi-truck, a mobile missile as he called it, then you should probably be able to speak English, communicate with American law enforcement if necessary, and also be able to read our road signs, which, by the way, are all written in English. In fact, maybe if this illegal alien truck driver actually spoke English, maybe he wouldn't have tried to pull a U-turn in the middle of the freeway into oncoming traffic. But clearly, the state of California under Gavin Newsom's leadership doesn't really care about that. But now, folks, what I have to show you next is going to absolutely make your blood boil. But first, I do want to say real quick that if you guys enjoy the daily news updates, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton. But okay, check this out. Right now, across the country, there are currently 19 states in which it's possible to get a driver's license while being an illegal alien and while not even being able to speak English. And so, hey, here's my humble opinion. Given how serious this problem has become and how fatal the consequences are, I think that the Trump administration needs to start pulling federal funding for every single one of these states. And the reason why is that if you're unwilling to actually protect the lives of Americans while on the road, then you don't deserve one single dollar from the federal government because, hey, keep in mind, where does that federal money come from? That's right, all of us, hardworking American citizens. But you know what? Take a look at this. The official White House Rapid Response page on X, which is operated by the Trump administration, actually posted this just a couple of hours ago. This individual is an illegal immigrant who was granted a commercial driver's license by the state of California, and now 3 innocent people are dead. He has been arrested for vehicular homicide, and an ICE detainer has been issued. So folks, in case you were concerned, yes, the Trump administration knows about this issue, and they are actively working to make sure that it never happens again. And by the way, just as a reminder once again, this entire situation only happened because of Governor Gavin Newsom's incompetent progressive leadership, in which he's handing out commercial driver's licenses to a bunch of illiterate illegal aliens. But you know what? Just yesterday afternoon, none other than Stephen Miller absolutely destroyed Governor Newsom. Take a look at this.
The mayor of Los Angeles and the governor of California were in the largest sanctuary city and the largest sanctuary state in America. They refused to turn over tens of thousands of serial criminal illegal aliens to ICE. So they get arrested by state or local authorities and they get cut loose. They then go on to commit crimes like assault, armed robbery, home invasion, and murder. The most unimaginable, egregious crimes you could think of. All of that blood, all of that suffering, all of that heartache, squarely on the soul and conscience of California's governor and the mayor of Los Angeles. They are guilty of crimes against humanity. They are facilitating child trafficking, sex trafficking. Look, they think this is a game. They think this is a joke. This is life and death. When you meet with the families, as you have, Griff, whose loved ones have been and killed and slaughtered by criminal illegal aliens who have no right to be in this country, what Newsom are doing and what Bass is doing are unforgivable. And God bless our ICE agents and Border Patrol agents for going out there and doing this mission on behalf and on the orders of President Trump to make America safe for our citizens. The Democrat Party seems to only care about 2 groups right now, criminals and illegal aliens. And that's it. Donald Trump's Republican Party is fighting for law-abiding American citizens, and you're seeing the results right here in Washington, D.C., where the most violent city that we have in this country is now becoming, day by day, and will become one of the safest cities in the whole country.
And so, folks, that is exactly what is happening right this very moment. Day by day, more like minute by minute, President Trump is cleaning up the streets of Washington, D.C., but the reason I mention this is because this is what really should be happening across the entire country. Lord knows we have allowed the far-left radical progressives to destroy our country for way too long, and now it's time to put all of the chaos, violence, and anarchy to an end. But of course, all of the far-left radical progressives and their paid protesters are melting down about all of this. In fact, check out what the streets of Washington, D.C. looked like just yesterday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, is that embarrassing or what? If it were up to all of these far-left freaks, they'd just stand idly by and watch the entire country rot away until the entire nation devolved into nothing more than a third-world slum. But so folks, here's the real takeaway of today's video. We are not going to let that happen. We are taking the country back, we are kicking out all of these illegal aliens, and we are putting an end to the crime and the violence. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as I like to say, this is what it looks like to finally put America first.